Hi guys, this is Tree Cat Tarot, and today we're going to be asking Spirit what it is that your shadow is trying to tell you. This spread is going to specifically be about the inner critic and toxic shame. I am going to use a spread that, to be honest with you, I found it on Pinterest, but I've used it, and I think it's a nice, good, encompassing spread. It's going to be 6 cards. And we're basically going to be asking about a limiting belief that you have, what it's trying to protect you from, how it is attempting to protect you, where you learned it, and how you can unlearn it, basically. Okay. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be getting into. We're gonna do 4 piles today, and let me go ahead and introduce you to the cards that you can choose from. So pile 1, your card is going to be card number 21. This is Mountain. And each card has its own meaning. We will go over that when we get to each individual pile. And then you also have this piece of rose quartz. Pile number 2, you have card number 14, the fox. And this piece of clear quartz. Pile number 3, you are birds, card number 12. And this piece of amethyst here. In pile number 4, you are card number 31, Sun. And this piece of Lapis Lazuli. All right. So go ahead and give yourself a second to meditate on all of the piles. You can choose by the crystal, the number on the card, the image, the name, the timestamp, whatever best serves you. And I will see you at your reading. Hi, pile number 1. If you resonated with the mountain card or the rose quartz, or maybe just the number 21, this is your reading. So the mountain card is actually about blockages. Like, it actually in the book says blockages, trouble, a nemesis, and obstacles. Just based on the meaning of the card, we'll know more when we get to the tarot, but your triggers and your shadow could have something to do with being really, really guarded in your heart space and kind of feeling maybe suspicious of other people. Maybe there's, you experience jealousy. Especially because the story to do with this card, the mountain, which is called, let me see here, Mount Rainier. This is Mount Rainier, or at least it's supposed to be. And it was created basically by a woman who was very beautiful, but her husband did not want her. She was beautiful, but not as kind as the other wife. And so he chose to be with the other wife who was kinder but less beautiful. So the beautiful one, in her grief, became the mountain and prevented the man and his other wife from being able to pass to go see family. And that is the creation of the mountain. That's a very butchered Reader's Digest version of what this is about. But go ahead and just research the myth of Mount Rainier. And yeah, especially paired with this rose quartz here. So it could even be that you struggle with feelings of unworthiness or feeling like you have to be in competition with other people. But let's go ahead and see what the tarot says. We're going to use the Moon and Star Tarot to do this reading, and then if necessary, we're going to use the Angel Tarot for clarification. But we'll see if that's something I feel like we need to do. Tarot readings always kind of just have a mind of their own. They always do their own thing. Okay, so we're going to have 6 cards. At least my intention is to have 6 cards. All right. Spirit, what is pile 1 shadow? Pile 1 shadow, please. Pile 1's shadow, thank you. Fool in reverse. Or the Fool. Why did I say in reverse? That's okay. I know I made that slip, but we're just gonna take this as it is, which is the Fool up hand. Pile 1 shadow. What is pile 1 shadow trying to show them, Spirit? What is pile 1 shadow trying to show them? That is way too much. What is pile 1 shadow trying to show them? Knight of Swords in the reverse. What is pile 1 shadow trying to show them, Spirit? Huh. Okay, you very much could struggle with self-worth issues. Just because of where this card, the position this card landed in. We'll get to that in a second. What is pile 1 shadow trying to show them, Spirit? What's pile 1 shadow trying to show them? You need to make it actually jump out. That was a bit dramatic. Knight of Wands in the reverse. Okay. Did not leave myself a lot of room. When we get to these bottom cards, I'll just pick them up so you can see them better too. What is pile 1 shadow trying to show them, Spirit? What is pile 1 shadow trying to show them? I'll take 2 for that one, that's fine. Oh, that's 3. Sure, why not? Okay. right, so you have the Fool. That is card number 0, Aquarius energy. We have the Knight of Swords. We have the Page of Cups. The Nine of Wands in reverse. We have Temperance. I promised you I would show you this closer. That is card number 14, Sagittarius energy. And then we have Death, Four of Cups in reverse, and the Three of Swords in reverse. And this is card number 13. It's a Scorpio energy. So all right. So the Fool is the signifier for what your shadow is trying to show you. I feel like you have a deep desire for change. I feel like you have a deep desire to, you feel very pushed down by whatever this is. You are potentially coming to this reading already having an idea of what I'm going to tell you. Oh my God, I just noticed my back and my side hurting a lot. Like all around, all along, like the area between the solar plexus and the sacral chakra. You could have a blockage there. The song Breath of Life by Florence and the Machine is coming to mind, especially I was waiting for a breath of life, a touch of heavenly light. You know something needs to change. That's what this card represents. You know something needs to change. You possibly know what I'm about to tell you. And you just kind of need a little bit of validation, a little push, what have you. So let's go ahead and give that to you. The belief that you have is the Knight of Swords in the reverse. I feel like this is a very strong distrust of others. I'm actually thinking of the Knight of Swords that I have in another deck. And the Knight of Swords I have in my other deck, when he pops up reverse, he looks like he's falling back on his sword. Yeah, you possibly like really keep other people away. You feel like you have to. You have a strong disbelief. You maybe even have a belief that you are better off alone, that other people just bring drama to you rather than connectivity. The Page of Cups right here indicates what you are kind of being protected from, or what the belief is trying to protect you from, and this shows loyalty. You are protecting your own heart. You are protecting your own heart, possibly because you know that you love wholeheartedly, very innocently, potentially even in a way that you would describe naive. You might describe the way that you love other people as naive, and it's not naive necessarily. It's pure and it's innocent and it's beautiful. And so you protect it too much. The Nine of Wands in reverse is in the position of how you protect it. With this being in the reverse, you protect it by acting like nothing bothers you, by acting like you don't need anything, that you don't need anyone. You possibly have been single for a while, And you possibly, hold on. I started with one thing and then other things came in. You probably receive love offers and you push them away with a smile. You decline offers to go out, even as friends, with people with, oh, I'm good. You always present it in a positive way. And you're just trying to further hide the fact. I keep wanting to make a heart shape with my hands. Oh my God. You you decline love offers with a smile, say, oh no, no thank you. You push off offers to go out as, I'm good, or I got other plans. And you don't have other plans. You don't actually have other plans. You're not actually good. And there's a frown on the inside when you are declining love offers. It's like you decline them, but you want to take them. But you're afraid to. I feel too with this fool. The fool, takes a leap of faith, jumps off a cliff. I feel like you want love and connectivity very, very badly. In fact, we call it falling in love. I feel like you see movies or you see couples where people are just madly in love and you want that so bad, but you don't think it's for you. As far as where you learned this, we have the Temperance. I feel like this is where it just kind of adds to the evidence that this particular collective is super, super self-aware. I feel like you have begun a healing journey prior, and at some point you just kind of got stuck. Like, I feel like you maybe went through some stuff in childhood, maybe you went through a toxic relationship, and you healed a lot of the ways that it affected you. You don't have as many triggers as you used to have. You've come a long way. Maybe you don't have as many negative thoughts as you used to have, so on and so forth. But just for some reason, your healing stopped here. For others of you, it's not so much that the healing paused, it's just that you don't really know how to heal that aspect of yourself. So you focus on healing other things, and that's great. But it's a damn shame to want love and connectivity and not know how to do it. Connectivity is beautiful. Like, let's take out romantic love for a second. Connectivity is beautiful. Sharing laughs and smiles with other people who can laugh and smile at the same things as you is amazing. Being able to have a heartfelt conversation, being able to be on the phone with a friend and cry and say the things that you are really thinking and feeling. That's such a beautiful thing. And it really hurts me that you are keeping yourself from it. But I get it. The 3 cards we have over here is how you will unlearn that. So, let's just take them one by one. We have Death, which is transformation, release. We have the 4 of Cups in reverse. So the 4 of Cups in reverse is focus. Being focused. I heard not drinking your problems away. I don't know if that's something you do. Some of you possibly do that, and some of you... I don't feel like you necessarily indulge in something like to get rid of it. Like to get rid of your problems, to escape all of your problems. I feel like it's just this one. It's just this one. And it's almost as if once you figured out how to heal this part, you can end a cycle. Like that's just something that I'm getting. Once you figure out how to heal this part, you can end another cycle. But it's this that's keeping you stuck in a cycle. For some of you, it's a generational cycle. So anyway, so yeah, change, release, death, focusing in on what the thing is, taking the time, you know, when you're not at work, you're not at school, you're not with people, which from the sounds of it, you don't spend a lot of time with people anyway. And like journaling, doing shadow work, meditating, facing what it is that hurts so badly. In here we have Three of Swords in the reverse. I feel like you're possibly on the precipice of letting this go. But I almost feel like you hold on to it because it's like a shield. Sorry. Just about knocked over the whole deal. But yeah, I feel like you hold on to your heartache as a shield. Like, it's almost as if you took your own bloody organ out of your chest and you're just holding it out in front of you and you're like, see what love did? I can't do this again. You see, the poor thing's mangled. It's not as mangled as you think it is. I feel like you're further in your healing than you think you are. Cool, so we are going to pull out the angel deck, actually. Just because I do think you're farther in your healing than you think you are. Spirit, where is pile 1 in their healing? Where is pile 1 in their healing? We have the High Priestess. Card number 2, this is Taurus energy, though I relate it with Pisces energy. I feel like you intuitively know that you're nearly done healing. And you're just kind of afraid to take that last step. It's this fear of change. It's this fear of, okay, well, I'm done healing. I'm going to let someone else in again. And then what if they hurt me? Like the other person hurt me. Then I have to do another healing journey. Well, that's not quite how it works. When we heal, we're in a better place to set boundaries, recognize when something is not for us, and remove ourselves before we get to a place to where we are re-traumatized. I think you're not going to allow yourself to become re-traumatized again. I mean, you're already pretty good at setting boundaries, it looks like, and removing yourselves from situations, but you're doing it to such a degree that you are traumatizing yourself in completely the other direction. You're alienating yourself from humanity, and that's not good for you either. Spirit, what else could pile 1 do for their healing? What would aid pile 1's healing, please? What would aid pile 1's healing, Spirit? King of Swords in the reverse. Can you clarify the King of Swords in reverse, please? Clarify the King of Swords in reverse. Knight of Water in the reverse. Interesting. I feel like you're being advised to not be the one to make any first moves. Like, say you want to have connections with people, and you're still feeling unsure, you're still feeling unsteady. Rather than going towards people yourself, just allow people to come towards you. And maybe turn the logic off a little bit. Because, see, the Knight of Water, when he's in the uphand, he's the one making love offers. I think you need to be allowing it to come to you. The King of Swords, he is incredibly logical, makes all his decisions from that place. And while that's well and good, you're probably making too many from that place. If you inside of your heart, inside of your gut, want to, like, say, go check out this band with a coworker that invited you out, don't make up an excuse. Don't come up with logical reasons why you can't do it. Don't be like, sorry, I gotta, like, feed my cat and water my tree and do laundry. Like, don't come up with excuses. Don't tell yourself that people are inviting you out of pity. Don't look for a logical reason why someone might want to hang out with you. Someone probably wants to hang out with you because they like your energy and they want to get to know you better. Open up that heart chakra a little bit. Open up that heart chakra and allow yourself to face the pain that you previously felt, and then let it go. Let go of the heartache. Yeah. Yeah, you're almost done. You're really only holding on because you're afraid. And that's understandable. But you're depriving yourself of life and of experiences and of connectivity by holding on to previous heartaches. So let them go, pile one. That is all I have for you. Go ahead and click on over to the other reads if you feel necessary. I didn't say this in the intro, but if you felt drawn to another reading, go ahead and go over there too. Typically, we're not working on only one thing at a time with shadow work. It's just kind of not what we do. Other than that, I do offer personal readings if you're interested in that, and if not, I will see you another day. Be good, be safe, and love and light to you. Bye. Hi, Pile 2. If you resonated with the Fox card or the Clear Quartz, this might be your reading. So the Fox card talks about someone who is either a bit of a trickster, either for malicious reasons, or because they feel that sneaky energy is necessary. If I were to guess, I would say you might be someone who feels the need to wear a mask a lot of the time, which is a coping mechanism. But let's go ahead and get into the tarot and see what they have to say. I just heard like the real quick "Ooh, foxy lady" by Jimi Hendrix. That could be significant, but probably not. It's probably just me having jukebox brain. So, all right. So, what is pile two shadow trying to tell them? What is pile two shadow trying to tell them? We're going to take the one that flew way over there. Okay. What is pile two shadow trying to tell them? Thank you. We have strength. What is pile two's? Okay. Go off, I guess. What is pile two shadow trying to tell them? Okay. What is pile two shadow trying to tell them? What is pile two shadow trying to tell them? What's pile two shadow trying to tell them? Interesting. Pile one also got the death card. I'm gonna laugh if every single pile gets the death card in this position, because this is the how to unlearn it. They got it in the uphand though. Yours is in the reverse, so we have the Three of Cups in reverse, Strength, which is card number 9 in this one. Leo energy, Four of Pentacles, Ace of Swords in the reverse, Two of Wands in the uphand, and Death, which is Scorpio energy, and card number 13. The other thing I'm noticing is we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't know if that's somehow significant to you, but I noticed it. God, we have one of each element too. I don't know exactly what that's about, but alrighty. Maybe you have one of those charts where you're just kind of like 3 or 4 over here in the water, and 3 or 4 over here in the earth, and 3 or 4 over here in fire. 3 or 4 over here in the air. That's kind of what my chart looks like. My chart's very equilateral. It's fun. But anywho, so let's go ahead and get into your reading. So the Three of Cups in the reverse is what we call a signifier. I am taking that as just kind of something in your current awareness is how I'm taking it. So in your current awareness, you know that you are not having a lot of fun. You know that you're not making time for it. You're not going out. And that's kind of reflected in some of the other stuff that we're seeing here. We will get into that, but you possibly pretend to be more serious than you actually are, and you need to learn to cut loose a little bit. Maybe you're afraid of how you act when you do cut loose, like maybe you're afraid of what will come out when you cut loose. But yeah, you're aware of that though. You're aware that you don't have enough fun in your life. And that is a coping mechanism. So your belief, your false belief, is strength, bravery. Which kind of goes with the fox thing. You believe that you have to be strong and serious and brave all the time. Two things that are coming to mind is maybe you are a feminine who has a hard time being in her feminine energy. On the other side of that, maybe you're a masculine who tends towards a more feminine, like you have a male body and you identify with being male, however, you have a feminine essence. So you feel like you have to mask a masculine essence in order to be accepted, even though it's not true to who you are. Or on the other hand, you could be feminine in a feminine body, but you feel the need to wear a masculine mask in order to protect yourself. That's something that is coming through. So we got some self-acceptance issues there. And then, like, say you wear this mask, and then when you smoke or you drink or you hang out with people and you begin to, like, show the real you, that scares you because they learn that this isn't really you, that this persona that you put off isn't really you, it's just a mask. You could feel like you have to err towards toxic masculinity. What's sticking out to me, okay, is this huge difference between a fox and a lion. That's what's really sticking out to me. The lion is strong and brave and roars really loud and king of the jungle and nothing messes with him and yada yada yada. The fox is a much smaller animal. Kind of sits there between predator and prey. This is considered to be a very sly animal, a very intelligent animal. Not necessarily a very strong animal, a sly one. I kind of feel like the fox more represents the real you and the lion more represents the you that you put out. That's what I'm getting here. So, what you are attempting to protect yourself from, we have the Four of Pentacles here, which Four of Pentacles, it says control, but Four of Pentacles is essentially either holding on to your resources too tightly or letting go of them too freely. In this case, I'm going to say it's your own energy. That's kind of what I'm getting. You feel like you need to protect your energy. And how do you do it? With the Ace of Swords in the reverse. You potentially come off very, very cold, and it kind of helps keep this mask held up. Going around acting cold, acting less compassionate than what you really are. Again, acting like you have to be brave all the time or believing you have to be brave all the time. And there's a certain idea of self that you have to adhere to. That you have to adhere to strength. And anything less is unacceptable. So what do? You pretend to be cold. How you learned this, or where you learned this, we have Two of Wands here. I'm going to assume this was encouraged, but possibly in childhood. Let's go ahead and clarify. Spirit, can you clarify the Two of Wands, please? Spirit, clarify. Okay. We have the Eight of Swords in the reverse. I don't know why I'm getting this in particular, but I'm feeling like you maybe had a parent or both parents who were particularly feisty. And that maybe just wasn't you, but like feisty to the degree that instead of the illusion of being trapped, they reveled in a very extreme sort of freedom and a very extreme sort of rebellion. And saw a lot of threats to that. And encouraged you to possess a strength that is, quite frankly, unnecessary. That sounds really uncohesive to me, but it possibly makes sense to you. It could also be... Well, yeah, it could be that the parent's wound was... Your parent had a wound about their own personal freedom, so they were extra feisty, and they kind of encouraged that in you, even though that's not really your personality. And they kind of taught you that you have to be like this to protect your energy, that people are out to get you, maybe. And maybe you don't quite believe people are out to get you, but you do believe you have to act a certain way in order to be accepted, because you had to act a certain way in order to be accepted by this parent. So on one hand, you avoided repeating one cycle. You didn't take on the philosophy of what they were trying to teach you. But on the other hand, you created a different generational trauma by believing you had to act a certain way in order to be accepted by this parent. That's super specific. And so now you believe you have to adhere to the same way of being in order to be accepted by other people. How do you unlearn this? Death in the reverse. Which... What you talking about, Spirit? Oh, God. I went to shuffle and a bunch of my cards fell on the floor. Okay, let's try this again. I think I know what Spirit might mean by death in the reverse, but I want to clarify her anyway. Spirit, can you clarify death in the reverse, please? Seven of Wands. Okay, yeah. Radical self-acceptance. Fierce self-acceptance. You are trying to change who you are, and Spirit is trying to tell you to stop. Stop trying to change who you are. Stop trying to change yourself into this mask that you wear. Accept the person that you are and fiercely protect that person. Which uses a lot of the same lessons you previously learned, but you're utilizing them differently. You're not wearing a mask of a person that you are not. However, you are taking these aspects of self, which belongs to your truth. Like, say, For example, say something that is a part of that mask, a part of the persona of the is that okay, say for example, you act cold even though you're not really a cold person. But say you're capable of like cutting a person off. And that's part of the mask. But that's also a part of who you actually are. Like it's a part of your mask that is truth. If that makes a weird sort of sense. Fully accept who you are and use that part, which is your truth, that is part of your defense mechanism. Utilize it in such a way that you are who you are. You show who you are. You display who you are. And you are still capable of coldly cutting off people who can accept who you are. Stuff like that. Stop trying to change who you are. Accept who you are. You don't have to be big and loud and boisterous. You don't have to be that person. It takes all kinds. It takes all kinds, let me tell you. And there is nothing wrong with being someone who is more sly, more intelligent. We literally wouldn't get anywhere as a species if we weren't intelligent. I feel like some people need that like really drilled into them, but that's a video for another day. There is nothing wrong with being someone who is less confrontational, if that's who you are, with someone who would rather, I mean, it's not good to be avoidant of conflict, but if you are someone who would rather have peace, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're someone who is more intelligent, there's nothing wrong with that. Rediscover who you are and accept that person and love that person and protect that person. Once you learn to accept who you are, you will have an easier time allowing other people to see who you are, and you'll find your tribe. You'll find the people that it's so easy to have fun with. This does remind me a lot of Pile 1's reading, so if you also felt like you wanted to look at Pile 1's reading, I encourage you to go ahead and do that. But other than that, this is all I have for you, Pile 2. Thank you for coming to your reading. I do offer personal readings if that is something you are interested in. If not, then I will see you another day. Be good, be safe, and love and light to you. Bye. Hi, Pile 3, and welcome to your reading. If you resonated with the Amethyst or the Birds card, this might be your reading. The Amethyst, as I was putting it on your card, I was thinking about how it's good for fighting addictions and it's good for negative thinking. I don't know if that's relevant to your specific needs, but that is a little bit of knowledge if you need it. And amethyst is pretty easy to come across. It's pretty cheap. It's pretty common. So get yourself some amethyst if you need it. And then with the birds card. So the birds card talks about miscommunication, gossip, too many beaks involved in a decision. You could be someone who allows outside opinions to influence you a little too much. But we will get into the tarot and we shall see what is going on with you. Okay. What is Pile 3's shadow trying to tell them, Spirit? What is Pile 3's shadow trying to tell them, please? Sure, why not? We'll take them. We'll take them. The World in reverse with the Queen of Cups in reverse. Okay. What is pile three's shadow trying to tell them? You might want to also look at pile 2 since I almost said pile 2, if you felt so called. Are you going to be the one that gets 2 cards for every portion? That's fine. That's okay. That's okay, Spirit. I can handle it. Okay. So we have the Seven of Swords in reverse with the Queen of Wands in the reverse. We got 2 queens on the board. 2 queens. Which the story with that birds card is how, what is it called? I just forgot part of the name. This is a super beat up book. How the King of Birds was chosen. It's a Mayan story. So maybe you're a king or a queen in your own right. We are all kings and queens in our own rights. What is pile 3 shadow trying to tell them? Wait a minute. Not taking all that. We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. I am literally the most zany during your reading right now. The other 2 well, the first reading I was straight up depressed during, and the second reading I was just kind of even keel. Okay. I'm going to take these as that, and this is that. Okay. Okay. Those fell out separate, so we're going to do that. Okay. That's fine. It's not you, pile 3, it's me. I just get flustered when I see these things happen because I struggle with negative thinking, but that is a journaling prompt for me to do. All right. So, pile 3. We have the World in reverse. That's card number 21. That is all of the fixed signs, which is Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio. We have the Queen of Cups in the reverse. We have the Queen of Wands in the reverse. We have the Seven of Swords in the reverse. We have the Star, Aquarius energy, card number 17. In the reverse, we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is more Aquarius energy, card number 10. In the reverse, we have the Hangman, Pisces energy, card number 12. In the reverse, not in the reverse, rewind. We have the 10 of Wands. We have the Strength card, card number 9. And we have the 6 of Swords. You ready? I'm ready. Okay. You must just be a ball of energy because I'm just, yeah. Okay. All right. So for the signifier, which is kind of, I'm taking this as the thing that is in your conscious mind about whatever this is. This is all the crap possibly in your subconscious. This is what you know. So, in your conscious mind, we have the World in reverse and we have the Queen of Cups in the reverse. So that tells me that whatever you have been doing, whatever aspect of your shadow this is, I feel like you've been doing it for a while and you're very, very sick of it. I feel like you're in this place where your coping mechanisms have coping mechanisms. Maybe humor and sarcasm is one of them. Um, Maybe you expel a lot of zany energy in order to mask your negative thinking. That is a strong possibility that I'm getting here. With the Queen of Cups in the reverse, yeah, I feel like you don't bestow any empathy on yourself. Like you struggle really badly with depression. I feel like you've done it for a very, very long time. And quite frankly, you are sick of it. You are sick of like just pouring out your cup onto everybody else, pouring it on the floor. There it is. It's smashed. There's glass everywhere. You're sick of it. But yeah, so that's what you are conscious of. The limiting belief, which is shown by the Queen of Wands in the reverse and the Seven of Swords in the reverse. So we have deceit reversed and charisma reversed. You have very, very large imposter syndrome. You have imposter syndrome about your own charisma. You have imposter syndrome about it's a little weird. Um you have aspects of yourself that you are confident in. You may, in fact, have days that you look in the mirror and you like what you see. You might create and you enjoy what you create. You think you're not allowed to think that. You feel me? You are capable of you are capable of positive thoughts about yourself. You're capable of giving yourself love. You, however, feel like you shouldn't. You feel like you're not really allowed to. You feel like there's something about it that is wrong. I don't know if it's because like you have a lot of negative voices around you. I don't know if everyone else is just constantly killing the vibe. So you're like, I may as well just die with the vibe too. I don't know if you're afraid that you will get happy about something and someone will just come along and to your bubble, but that's what's going on. Like you have this weird dichotomy. Dichotomy, is that the word I want? Dichotomy? Dichotomy. I don't know. My Googling device is currently recording this reading. Anyway, you have this weird contrast. We're going to say contrast. I know how to use that word. Fuck. Woo, your energy. Okay. You want to love yourself. I feel like you want to so badly. But you won't let yourself do it. What is the thing you think you are protecting yourself from? I think it's really interesting that both of these cards are Aquarius energy. I know that this shows all the zodiac signs, but it's Aquarius energy, let me tell you. Okay. I really hope all this zaniness, A, does not exhaust me at the end of your reading, and B, doesn't turn off anyone that isn't quite this energy. But that sucks for them. So, you think you're protecting yourself from attracting good things, and that sounds crazy. It kind of goes along with like you're afraid of having your bubble popped. You're afraid that if you have a good thought or if good things come to you, you won't be able to hold on to them very long. That they'll just get taken from you. And it's really interesting that that is what you're afraid of, because in the story with this birds card, let me just get the book so I can kind of just like summarize super quickly here. Okay. So, in the story of this, So here we have this bird with beautiful feathers. I believe it's called a quetzal. A quetzal? Quetzal? A quetzal. Okay, this is a quetzal. This is a roadrunner. Okay. So in the story of this card, this roadrunner used to have these beautiful feathers. And this quetzal used to have brown feathers. You with me? Okay. So in the story, the roadrunner, which had the beautiful feathers, the quetzal came up to the roadrunner and was like, yo, I want to be king of the birds, but I have to have these gorgeous ass feathers. You don't care about being king of the birds. Can I just borrow your feathers super quick? And the roadrunner is like, sure, whatever, borrow them. I just want them back afterwards. The quetzal borrows them, becomes king of the birds, and never gives them back. And now the roadrunner has lost his beautiful feathers. You're afraid that good things that you get are just going to be taken from you and you're never going to see them again. And that is so sad. What happened to you? What happened to you, pile 3? And how do you protect yourself from this? By just kind of keeping yourself stagnant. Hanged man, that is how you protect yourself, is by keeping yourself small, keeping yourself stagnant, surrounding yourself with people who also have negative beliefs, and not allowing yourself to be around people who have positive beliefs, who uplift you, who have opportunities for you. Because you're like, well, I'm just gonna lose it any damn way. That's so sad, pile 3. I'm really sad for you that you are afraid. And the crazy thing is that, like, I feel like a lot of people resonate with this energy. A lot of people stay stagnant, stay in their comfort zone, and it's because they're afraid to try. They're afraid of failure. In your case, though, it's not failure you're afraid of. You're afraid of losing what you have. You're afraid of attracting in too much, and then you're just going to lose it anyway. How you learned this? 10 of Wands with strength. I feel like in your past, you had to overcome a lot. I feel like you had to overcome a lot in your past, pile 3. And so you're kind of just like, well, I have the blessings that I have. If I ask for too much, I'm going to lose the blessings. I'm not worthy of having more blessings. I should be happy with what I have. No, you deserve to have more. You deserve to have whatever it is that you want. And how do you unlearn this? Literally the opposite. This is how your beliefs and self-sabotage is protecting you, stillness. This is how you unlearn it, movement. Literally do the opposite of what you're doing. Literally make moves. Maybe make them in silence, but you need to make moves. You need to go towards people who uplift you and resonate with the person you want to be. You need to say you love basketball. Okay, say you love basketball and say you're actually really good at it. But when you play with other people, you don't really try. And because you don't really try, you don't really get a chance to show off how good you actually are. And so then, because you're not showing off how good you actually are, no one has a chance to gas you up so that you have the strength to go towards, like, say, competing on a team, and from there, going higher and higher. It's a weird example, but That's an example. You need to go towards the things that make you happy, that the things that light you up, give you that feeling of excitement. Don't be afraid that you're going to lose good things. If you lose good things, it's only so better things can come in. If you have overcome a lot, pile 3, I almost called you pile 2. If you overcame a lot, pile 3, then, arguably you are in a better place than what you were in before. You lost okay things so you could have better things. So even though this reading kind of intimidated me, I feel like it's pretty cut and dry. You need to move towards what lights you up. Let's pull out the angel deck super quick. Spirit, what other advice do you have for pile 3? Spirit, what? Thank you. Queen of Cups, literally the opposite of what you're doing up there. Open up your heart, pour into yourself, do things to show yourself that you love yourself. Show love and support to other people. Gas other people up. That will put you in a place to where you will receive support in return. The Sun in the reverse. So the way I'm taking this is stop using your humor to mask your depression. Face your depression. Face your depression. Face your negative thoughts. The only way you can deal with them and tell them to go away is to face them. There is a poem. I can't remember who wrote it or what it's called, but it starts with, "You should dance with your demons." And it talks about, inviting them for tea, learning their names, and then ask them to leave. And it's about facing your shadows. Face your depression. Give it a name and tell it to get the hell out. Okay. And then we have the Page of Air in the reverse, which kind of goes along with that card there. If there's people with negative ideas and negative thoughts, they're just misery, misery, misery. You don't need to be around that. Be around positivity. It's going to feel hella weird at first. It feels so weird to be around positive people when you're not used to that. You don't have to participate with the positive people. Just sit there. Sit there and listen to their good vibes and feel weird about it, but just kind of absorb it. Be a sponge. But yeah, stop listening to negative people. And then especially if you're around people who gossip, that's just all bad. Nothing good comes from gossip. Don't be around people who gossip. All right, pile 3, that is all I have for you. Thank you for coming to your reading. I do offer personal readings if that is something that you are interested in. If not, excuse me. Clear your throat chakra. Clear your throat chakra regardless. I will see you another time, and be good, be safe, and love and light to you. Bye. Hi, Pile 4, and welcome to your reading. If you resonated with the Sun card and the Lapis Lazuli, then this reading is for you. So the Sun card, it really means opportunity and optimism. However, the story with the card is about Princess Daylight. And the thing about the story that always gets to me is how she's this beautiful princess during the night, and during the daytime, she's this bitter hag. Or maybe I have that reversed. She spends half her time as a bitter hag and the other half of her time as this princess. I honestly, when I was shuffling to get ready for your reading, I thought to myself, Shrek vibes, like get out of my swamp. Like I know I didn't say that properly, but yeah, just total get out of my swamp, Shrek vibes. Um I want to say Lapis Lazuli is good for communication, which if you're just kind of like get out of my swamp all the goddamn time, you might want to work on your communication. Um I think it also is good for third eye stuff, I want to say. I'm not sure. But let's go ahead and just get into your reading. So, Spirit, what does... Wow, my brain just stopped. Spirit, what is Pile 4 Shadow trying to tell them? Spirit, what is Pile 4 Shadow trying to tell them, please? Thank you. Okay, we have 2 of Pentacles. Balance, which she's literally 2 different people. Okay. What is Pile 3 Shadow? Pile 4 Shadow. Oh, geez. Wow, we literally got 3 of Wands, which says communication on it. Protect from what? 2 of Cups. Okay. I'm gonna take these together. What is Pile 3 Shadow trying to teach that? Pile 4 Shadow. I keep saying Pile 3. You might want to go look at Pile 3 if you were so called to do so. I've literally been doing that this entire, like, all 4 readings now. Calling you another pile, so... yeah. Sure, I'll take those together, too. I'll take all the cards. What is Pile 4 Shadow trying to show them? Okay. Okay. Pile 3 also did this. Pile 3, this also happened, where it's just a lot of double cards. Okay. So, this first card, hold on, real quick. Let's rewind. So we have 2 of Pentacles here. We have 3 of Wands, 2 of Cups. We have the Page of Swords in reverse coming out with the Knight of Wands in the up hand. And then we have Justice, that's Libra energy, card number 8, coming out with the Ace of Wands in the reverse. And then we have the Page of Wands in the up hand, coming out with the Temperance card, that's card number 14, Sagittarius energy in the reverse. So, one of the things that's catching my attention is that we have both the Page and the Knight of Wands out here. And they're in opposite places. This section represents how your shadow, the shadowy thing that you do, how it's trying to protect you. And this section represents how you unlearn it. So we'll get into that. But yeah, so 2 of Pentacles, that's in the position, it's called the signifier. However, I am using it as the thing that's in your conscious mind, the thing that you consciously know is going wrong, the thing that drove you to come to this reading to begin with, which is 2 of Pentacles, balance. You know that there is an unbalance in your emotions. Maybe you carry around a lot of anger and you don't like that. Maybe anger is not authentic to the person that you are, and you know it's healthy for you to be capable of anger, but you don't want to be angry all the time. And that kind of sounds about right here. So let's go ahead and get into it. So for the belief, the actual belief itself, you have the 3 of Wands in the up hand. Which shows communication. 3 of Wands is also about waiting, and it's also about abundance. It's kind of the idea of the faith that the universe will bring you what it needs to bring you. You just need to communicate what it is that you need. My ship will come in. I just heard my ship will come in. Potentially you are a little too prickly with your communication. You could possibly maybe had poor examples for communication growing up. Maybe you were someone who never used to speak your needs, you never used to speak your boundaries, so you're just swinging a little too hard in the other direction, which makes a lot of sense here. So you understand you need to communicate, and that is good. But you're going about it the wrong way, and that's where things are getting a little messy. I feel like for you, the other piles, the card in question, the card that represented the pile, two of them were stories that had sad endings. One of them was simply a character. This one actually has a happy ending. So what that tells me is that of all the piles, you are possibly the closest to actually being done with whatever it is you need to learn. Pile 1 was also very much in that energy where they were like this goddamn close. They just gotta do the thing. I would almost say that, like, in your case, this hasn't quite entered shadow territory, is what I'm going to say. This hasn't quite entered shadow territory because you're aware of it, and I feel like you're very aware of it. You're just kind of trying to catch it and correct it before it becomes something that is a shadow that you do need to do more work on. So, what is it that you feel like you need to protect yourself from? Two of Cups, relationships, love. Literally in that story, this prince here, he sees the hag form of Princess Daylight. He doesn't realize that the hag and Princess Daylight are like the same person. He just sees this hag going about being Shrekky and shit. And he gives her a damn kiss. He feels sorry for her. He sees her pain. He sees her anger as pain, and he gives her a kiss. And that breaks the spell, basically. So, yeah, you're trying to protect yourself from relationships. I'm going to just assume romantic ones. Maybe you had a really toxic relationship in your near past. Maybe, I mean, that kind of goes along with like learning to have boundaries and learning to speak your needs. Maybe you had no boundaries with your previous partners. And so now you have like all the boundaries. I'll take all the boundaries, please. I will fill the biggest swamp. I want the biggest swamp my money can buy. I'm really gonna just go with that swamp metaphor. However, how are you protecting yourself? We have the Page of Swords in the reverse coming out with the Knight of Wands in the reverse. You're kind of just, or a Knight of Wands in the uphand. So the Knight of Wands, it literally says immaturity. Whenever I think of the Knight of Wands, I think about someone who just like shoots off in any direction, not really knowing like it's, if you've ever seen The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, there's this scene where Sean Connery's character is trying to teach this American sniper or whatever. He's trying to refine his ability to shoot. He's trying to get him to learn to like actually take aim. And he says to him something along the line, because the guy's like, I know how to shoot. I know how to aim. And he's like, no, you shoot 3 times and miss your target 2 out of 3. You need to get it right the first time. It's kind of way out of left field example, I know. But it's kind of that vibe. Like, just shooting off your emotions and your anger in any direction, and it hits what it hits. Page of Swords in reverse, you possibly are super, super reactive. That's really what I'm getting here. You're super reactive. And again, I assume that you are aware of that. Coming back to that communication thing, you're so afraid of your boundaries not being respected that you put them up really tall and really wide and really fast. Like the smallest thing that could be taken as a slight, you go ahead and you're like, yep, I recognize that for what the hell it is. Not everything's a slight, sweetheart. And I get it. I get it. I understand this more than you could possibly realize. I had left a relationship where I had no boundaries with my partner. I never told him what was wrong because I couldn't talk to him. I could not talk to him about anything that was bothering me because I learned very early in the relationship that he made everything about him. Every single thing was about him, even things where I wasn't trying to hurt his feelings or make him angry. I was just trying to communicate my needs. He was super reactive. So in return, in response, I stopped telling him what I thought. I stopped telling him what I felt. I did not tell him no 90% of the time because it was just he was easier to deal with if he constantly got what he wanted. And that was so not a healthy thing for me to do. So then when I left that relationship, and I'm still kind of in this energy myself, so like totally no judgment to you because I still do this. When I left that relationship, because not only did I have no boundaries with him, he could be very, very loving with his words, or he could be very, very cruel with his words. There was no in between. So anything I could view as a slight, I did. I was super prickly. I was totally that hag. I was totally Shrek. I feel you. I do. It is so painful and frustrating, and it's weird. I understand what this feels, it's you react and it's like you almost watch yourself do it and you don't recognize the person who does it. Cuz you're like, that's not me. Um I hope that I hope that gives you a little bit of consolation knowing that like you're not the only person who does this. Does it need to be fixed? Yes, but it's sometimes nice to know that like we're not the only ones, right? So, how you learned this? We have justice, which is truth, with Ace of Wands in the reverse. Yeah. I'm going to. Hi, Finn. How did you learn this? Kitty cats. Oh, okay, honey. That's fine, I guess. I guess we'll just sit right on that Two of Cups card. Fuck relationships, right? No. We don't take that. We don't actually mean that. So how did you learn this? You learn this, I feel like, from constantly having to stifle your truth. From constantly having to hold your tongue. And then how do you unlearn it? Well, we have Temperance in the reverse with the Page of Wands in the uphand. So, because upon initial glance, it doesn't make sense to have healing in the reverse, right? Like upon original glance. However, I think it would be easiest to approach this as not viewing your sudden discovery of boundaries as something that needs to be fixed. It's not that it needs to be fixed. It simply needs to be approached differently. So if you're being really harsh with yourself about it, if you're telling yourself, this needs to be fixed, I've now become my abuser, like, no, you have not. it's good to have boundaries. It's good to have boundaries. It's good to voice boundaries. It's good to be firm about them. You just need to come about it differently. Page of Wands is invention energy. It's creation energy. Like, it's baby creation energy. You just need to approach it differently. You can... There's a YouTuber, she's called the Crappy Childhood Fairy. I really like her videos. She does a combination of both just like talking about things in general, and then people also write letters to her and she'll read the letter aloud. She'll sometimes not share super specific things that are in the letter, and like she changes the name just to protect the person's who they are. But she talks about a lot of this stuff, and one of the things she talks about repeatedly is boundaries. Because a lot of the people, hi baby. A lot of the people that, have these problems and write to her, like, there's poor boundaries somewhere in their childhood, essentially. Anyway, I think she would be super, super helpful to you. And just not being harsh on yourself about it. And I don't know, maybe get a cat. Get a cat. That way you can both be particular together. There's something really just, I don't know, validating about living with an animal that is just so shameless in their boundaries. That's gonna make sense to one of you. Get a cat. It'll make you feel better. But yeah, that is all I have for you, pile 4. Yours was probably the least heartbreaking reading of the 4. The first 3 really kind of hurt me. This one I understood. It still hurts me that, you're going through this, but I understood this more. And like I said, I feel like this is not something that's actually in your shadow. You're trying to address it before it gets there, and that's great. You're doing a great job. Be nice to yourself. But yeah, that is all I have for you, pile 4. Thank you for coming to your reading. Go ahead and click on over to the others if you so feel fit. I offer personal readings if that's something you're interested in. If not, I will see you another day. Be good, be safe, and love and light to you. Bye.